Take a walk through Charleston's Rainbow Row, the French Quarter in New Orleans, or historic areas like Boston and Philadelphia, and you'll find yourself transported back to the romantic days of the Victorian era, when architecture was all about stately manners, trimmed with filigreed banisters, and elegant gas lights providing a warm glow to light the way. Nowhere is the romance of this period more evident than in historic Charleston, South Carolina. It was here in 1846 that a group of local business leaders introduced a new and exciting technology to their town. 2 years later, the first gas lights appeared on the city streets, courtesy of the Charleston Gas Light Company.
I'm so glad you came in to see us today.
The progressive spirit of these original pioneers inspired artist and entrepreneur Deborah McKinley to generate a renewed interest in these beautiful historic lanterns.
I got started in this business because I had a house that was close to the ocean, and I had beautiful, beautiful wrought iron fixtures, which absolutely melt in the salt air. And in the process of redoing my house, I was just kind of walking up down the streets of Charleston and looking up. I thought, wait a minute, there's lights here that have been here for 100, 150 years, they're copper. So I went on the internet, started looking for copper lights, and I realized there was a need for a company to make it easier for anyone and everyone to find copper lights. So started the business as an internet business. Now we have, of course, our own warehouse and manufacturing facilities.
It wasn't long before requests for Charleston gas lights came pouring in. To handle the growing demand, Deborah opened her showroom in the heart of historic Charleston, where people flock in droves for a piece of the Old South. These exquisite lanterns call to mind a period when gas lanterns stood sentinel for the front door of a home, creating an inviting glow that beckoned the visitor to step inside for warmth and comfort. Each Charleston gas light is crafted by hand, faithfully following the original 19th century design, so much so that it passes Charleston's strict architectural reviews that are performed when changes need to be made to a historic home. When working at her showroom, Deborah McKinley is in her element, surrounded by her original oil paintings and the stately beauty of all things Southern. It's evident that Deborah loves her work.
I design lights just like I do on my paintings. I start with a thought or a style, start sketching something out that I think would be appealing. I started with the very Southern style since I live here in Charleston, and go around town, and a lot of them are historically accurate reproductions. Others, I have customers come in and say, well, I like this, but can I get this top, or can I get this finial? So we start sketching things out like that. A lot of times, just driving around in different parts of the country, or picking up books and literature out of the library, I'll see a lantern and I'll think, okay, just sketch that one out and that'll be our next adventure.
Depending on the project, the lamps can range in size from petite, as shown on this doorway, or oversized to illuminate a street. In addition to natural gas, Charleston gas lights can also be configured for propane or electric. The lamps are created so that the fixtures are interchangeable.
The advantages of having interchangeable lighting is you can use the same copper housing throughout the house. So you can use gas by your front doors for ambiance. Then you might want more lighting on your garage, and that's where the electricity, you can get more wattage with the electricity, but you can continue the same body and body style or theme, copper being your theme, and use the gas where you're looking for your ambiance.
As with any construction or remodeling project, the issue of safety arises. To address this issue, all Charleston lamps are required to meet UL or CSA safety certification requirements. They are also available with electronic gas safety starters that can be controlled by switch, timer, or photocell. At the Charleston Gas Light Showroom, homeowners have the unique opportunity to see these beautiful lights up close and choose the model that's right for them.
You can see our lighting up and down the streets of Charleston, in really cities all over the United States. You're seeing them in developments, you're seeing them in renovations, you're seeing them in new home construction. You're also seeing them in a variety of magazines, arts and antiques, southern living, coastal living. We try to advertise to the people that are doing upper end building and as renovations. We're doing reproduction lighting. We do custom lighting. So you can see it's pretty well coast to coast, border to border.
To see an example of these magnificent gas lights, please visit Charleston Gaslight's website at www.charlestongaslight.com or call 1-877-GASLIGHT. That's 1-877-427-5483.